Hello everyone and welcome. When you play T-side in CS, would you agree if I say that nothing is given, everything is earned? If yes, why do I still see some players having this superhero syndrome and they start to jump around after the bomb has been planted? My friends, there are some really important information that I have to tell you first. I mean, what is a 070W video without at least some yapping, right? Okay, so let's begin. I would like to start asking you some questions that I will not be able to hear your answers obviously, but the purpose of this is help you develop a deeper critical thinking and mold the way you see this game. But rest assured, we're not here to talk about philosophy. So, what is Counter-Strike? For some it's just a video game, for others it's just a first-person shooter. How many of them will mention the tactical aspect of this game though? CS2 is a case-opening Sorry, this was not in the script. CS2 is a tactical shooter, and I want to insist in the importance of the tactical aspect of this game. The information I'm going to share here represents only a fraction of every tactical aspect that CS2 holds. So sit back and get your mind ready, because I truly hope that the following part of this video will help you to improve your game. One of the requirements to play the T-side properly in CS2 is proactivity. You cannot win rounds in T-side by playing passively, usually. At some point you have to take the initiative and step in. Now Counter-Strike is a tactical shooter in which you have 5 Ts versus 5 CTs. Each map has 2 sites, or the T players can plant the bomb. The CTs need to hold 2 sites, however, there are only 5 CT players. With this information we can assume that having 5 CTs on one site is near impossible, right? So why don't the T players just rush as 5 to any of the 2 sites? Can they not just win the rounds like this? And this is where you reply, yeah, you're right, but the CTs have utility. And that answer is correct. What about the pistol rounds then? There are less utility. How come some of those rounds are lost then? Lack of teamwork or coordination, lack of aim, lack of this, lack of that. Yeah, that may be true as well, but to this I have some other reasons. The main difficulty of the Ts is that when they rush together, they don't have multiple places they can rush to reach the site. The CTs always know where they are coming from, but do they know when the Ts are coming? The main obstacle of a T-side player is the amount of angles they have to clear before they reach the site. Yes, your aim will be important. Good weapon quality and good balance of those weapons will also play a role in winning those rounds. You have less chances to win a round if you play with 5 pistols than with 4 or 5 rifles. Having a good utility management to clear those difficult angles or force the CT player out or simply punish his aggro play will also be in the favor of the T-side player. If we know all of this, how come we still lose some rounds as a T player, assuming that the aim is not the problem? How do the CTs increase their chances to win the rounds? What do they implement into their game for that? Info play. The CTs use their utility to gather information and learn what the T players are up to. You know, with this I can go on for hours, but this is not what this video is about. I speak this because I truly believe it's an important part of CS to know, and it needs to be absorbed into our minds as competitive players and/or players that strive to improve and learn more about this game. If you increase your general knowledge, you will view this game from a more different perspective and your actions will have a bigger meaning. So, you play T-side, you and your team manage to reach the site and plant the bomb. You want to take cover and wait for the CTs to come. There are some positions that are called priority positions. Why are they called that way? My answer to this question would be that those positions offer you the highest win percentage, whether it's thanks to their ability to provide you a good survivability or to help you waste the time of the CT player. Those positions usually offer you a good amount of space, or what I usually call a good playroom. They offer you a wall to protect yourself. You can peek from different angles using the same exact position. Those positions can also help you waste the time of the CT, as I mentioned before. Or simply, those positions offer you a significant advantage in your duels. This means that the CT is exposed from multiple angles at the same time, and it becomes difficult for the CT to cover all of those angles. The priority position can also be a spot where you are able to see the enemy's shadow first before they peek. Before I move on to the different maps, I want to remind that everything I'm saying here remains my thought. Everything I express here belongs to my opinion. Of course you can play aggressive to surprise the enemy if you feel like to. Of course you can play an odd spot or a different position if your instincts tell you to. Every round is situational. there are a lot of factors to take into consideration before I can say which spot I think is the best. There is no rule that says you have to play safe every single time, as there are no rules that say you have to play aggressive. It is very difficult to determine and qualify which play is considered appropriate, because the situation you're in and the context of the round matters. To those who were patient enough to listen all my speech until now, thank you very much. Now let's begin. I will always start with the A side and then the B side. Okay, so let's start with nuke. One of the best positions that I think is very broken to play is this one behind the doors, where you can just hold this angle and you have a good position in case the city pushes from vent, pushes from main, and if you hear the city pushing from lobby. So you can relocate yourself to hut, or you can, if you want, you can pick from here if it's planting for main, of course. Let's do this. If it's planted for main, then you can just go from here and can just jump pick, you know. Otherwise, this position also allows you to get like to manage to get one pick. If it's a 1 versus 2 situation, you get one pick and you can play the 1 versus 1. Whether if you want to play the time or if you want to have a quick pick. And also this position offers you multiple possibilities, you know, because yeah, you can go out from door, but you can also go out from hut, you know. So I think like playing this area is very broken, is very interesting to play, and one of the priority positions to have. On B sides, I would say the double doors or the lab. Why? Because again, it's the same idea. It offers you 2 possibilities. You can either pick here from doors or from windows, and also it allows you to relocate yourself, play the time, stay alive. You know, it offers you multiple possibilities. If you're like a crazy person, you can even go down to single doors after. You know, it depends on how it's planted. But again, let's assume that it's planted here. Then you have a good angle to pick. If it's planting behind the silo, then this spot becomes useless almost. So the way the bomb has been planted is also a good information to consider. I like this spot a lot, and you can also have a good off angle. You see the city is pushing from vents. You can have like you can play here, and you have your teammate baiting for you. In a situation where you guys are comfortable, you know, like in 3 versus 2, 4 versus 3, you know, like if you have this angle covered, playing above silo here is also very interesting, because it is less likely for the cities to immediately pick onto you above silo after you pick, you know. Otherwise, I mean, any of the ledges here, any of the ramp here is also interesting to take. But otherwise, the main priority position to take, if it's possible, it's double doors here. Mirage. On A side, it depends. If you guys are like smoking jungle and stairs, the best thing to do is to take CT, because on Mirage, when you plant on A side, you either want to take CT or either want to take jungle. All right. So if CT is not a choice, then you have to take jungle or like somewhere connector or stairs. It depends on how you smoke though. If you smoke like this and if you smoke like this, CT obviously. But if you decide to smoke CT, you can smoke jungle here, and you can also try to smoke top con here, and it allows you to get this space. So yeah, A side, one of the 2 spots here is the best. Otherwise, if none of them are possible, ramp gives you a good chance to play the game, because if you're 1 versus 2 again, you can have a timing push whenever you hear the CT, and you can transform the 1 versus 2 into 1 versus 1, and then you can isolate the enemies like while they're like checking you from every places, you know. Otherwise, one of the broken spots to play for me, it's this area. So why this area? Because the stairs city will not be able to see you, and this is, I think, one of the best spots to play in 1 versus 1 situations, because like it's rare that will check here, you know. Like they might check, but like it's really not likely. And these spots, I mean, if you're not in a situation where you can move and relocate yourself, deep corner here, and yeah, you can you have a cover from stairs, and the moment like you see the stairs guy jump off, you have a good angle towards him. On B side, one of the spots that I like to play, I mean, the priority position would be the bench spot. This allows you to have not only cover from the wall. In B side, I would say bench, because you can pick from the left or from the right. This wall here allows you to have some form of cover. You can also play here, so you can have a good crossfire with your teammates in case you can. Otherwise, if you're in 1 versus 1, backtrack, but like it's less likely, because this spot usually is one of the priority spots where you want to use your molly for. So yeah, this is a little bit risky, but it's still a good spot if you know the enemy doesn't have much nades. Otherwise, if you have time, then you can just jump from the car here, and you can go to B-ups. And from here, you have an excellent angle, but also you can play the time. You will most likely win the round, but the city will also save the weapon. So it depends on how you want to play it, you know. Otherwise, one of the most underrated positions, in my opinion, is this one. It's really rare that the cities check this spot, and like it's an all-in spot, you know. It's you win the round or you lose the round, but again, it's very, 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 very situational. Another spot would be to play short, though, if you plant it for short, of course. So yeah, those are the spots that you want to play, but otherwise the priority would be bench. Short is also possible. It's important, but it's gonna be difficult because the more you pick, the more like you have like they know where you're picking from, you know. So yeah, you have to rely on the movement there, shoulder pick, jump pick, and all of those things. It's a good spot to play if you have full HP. If you have 1 HP, though, it's gonna be a little bit risky. So yeah, to summarize, the bench, car, why not, B-ups, and yeah, short. Otherwise, this angle is good also, but it's very situational. But priority would be bench, in my opinion. Overpass, not played, but I'm still gonna go through in case it's played again. In post plant, where is A? Yeah, okay. A, if they set the C4 on A, it depends on how you play, like the way you plant it. But otherwise, like if you plant default here, of course, playing around toilet would be the best because you can pick from the left, pick from the right, and you can even pick from deep here. It's one of the best spots. So yeah, you make the city's guess. You can even hide here. You hide in the corner here. I mean, it's situational though. This corner is also situational, but like you want to play around these spots. Of course, you can play aggressive as I mentioned earlier, but playing around toilet is the priority spot. If the C4 is planting towards truck, otherwise bank would be the best spot to play because you can have a mini angle where you can see if the city is defusing or not, and you can make his like waste his time. So yeah, or B-site on overpass. It depends on how you plant it, but also there are a lot of ways to play. You know, like you can play even water here. You can outmaneuver your enemy, but usually in general, I mean, I'm speaking in general, you want to play around short area because not only you can hide on the left side, but also you can hide on behind the right side. So if the city is is pushing like this and tries to go to the left, I mean, you have a good angle. Otherwise, I mean, even you can hide here, and if the city doesn't see you, like you can waste his time by a lot. He's gonna tap, so he's gonna force you out, but you have to like verify, like waste his time, especially if he doesn't have kits. It's also again situational. You can also do a wide pick, and you can go all in if it's 1 versus 1. But yeah, I mean, from this angle, like you can you have a lot of possibility. Otherwise, monster is also good, but you have less escape. So I think like short is very good. If you're able to plant the bomb like in an open area like this, if you have that luxury, city or like the ABC is called heaven. Those spots are really, really good. In my opinion, those city is really good because like you can hear the steps. You can know if the city is going to heaven or like it's just coming to you. If he comes towards you, you have an excellent angle here. Or you can hide to the left in this area. They won't see you, so you will just able to, while the city is just running, you will able to isolate one. So yeah, depends on how the C4 is planted, but default is here, and if it's planted default, like expect that you can play short. Even though the city knows where you play, the question remains the same: is when you're going to pick, you know. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you can just like pick it immediately after you hear the tap, or you can just count like 1, 2, 3, and then you can start to pick, you know. So you can maximize your efficiency. Or efficacy, I don't know, it's called efficiency, one of those two. So yeah, you can get the results that you want. So on train, the newest added map, on A site, usually the plant is like this, or even like this. It depends what you plant, but I think, in my opinion, you should play like pop area. Pop area if you can. Otherwise, I mean, this is a little bit risky, but it can work. You can play this area. You never peek until the last moment, but it's like really risky. So I wouldn't recommend this. You can like public, it gives you the most like the safest spot possible. But at some point the cities will clear all the angles and they will realize that you're nowhere close. So So they will expect you to come from pop. It's also a spot where they can molly and they can use the smoke. So pop is strong, but you have to like at some point peek to isolate the enemies, and you can transform this into 1v1. But otherwise, I mean, I think one of the most underrated spots would be to play around here, because you will have a good opening. Like you have two possibilities. You either pick from here. Let's change the color here. I mean, it's possible, so we can see better. Green should be good. So you can either pick from here, or you can either pick from here. But here you will not be able to see. If it's if they're defusing or not. It depends though. If the bomb has been planting slightly like this, I mean, this is always good. Like this spot would give the best. You will not need to overpeak from here to. You will not need to overpeak, so you can still see the bomb. In case it's planted, planting towards here, in this situation you will have to overpeak. So the idea remains the same, in my opinion. I think you plant here. As long as you clear this area, of course, like this area has been cleared, and this position allows you to have multiple possibilities, you know. So I would play here, you know, but it's still. I would have to check also the stats, you know, like see where the pros play usually. But in my opinion, this spot would give the best. So idea remains the same. You want to play a spot where it gives you like multiple possibilities, and you can outmaneuver the enemy, right? So it doesn't matter if they smoke you. Where's the smoke? If they smoke you, like let's say here, you still have this angle that you can use, you know. So yeah, you can just waste their time, and otherwise you can just cross the smoke, you know. But yeah, the idea is the same. Make them guess, you know. Otherwise, if you want to like, if you plant here, but you still like want to catch a timing onto the cities, I think connector is also good, you know, because it gives you still like a good survivability. But usually the cities rotate from here, so at some point you're gonna have to trade them. It's again very situational, but overall in general, this spot for me is king. On this side, usually it's planted here. And like usually it's like the angles would be the same, either upper above here or the lower ramp. Lower ramp is a little bit more risky because like the cities rotate from here, you know, like they might check. But the thing is, if you pick from lower ramp, you can like relocate yourself. But it's very conditional. It's very situational. So I don't know about this, but upper ramp can give you the best angle. Like you have an advantage angle. They only see your head and you see their whole body, you know. So this angle is very good. But the thing is, it depends. Like if it's 1v1, this is king. But if it's 1v2, the city might watch you. So be careful on the way you pick here. Otherwise, if you guys are like multiple alive, like three T players alive, you can play around the back of this train here, and you can ask your teammates to bait for you to shoot a little bit, and then you have a timing push here. So say otherwise, if you can take connector, of course, you know that you clear connector and you can like be on the flank, right? Otherwise, if the C4 has been planted in different ways, if you manage to plant for city, this angle is really good though. I really like this angle. You can just stay here. You can either pick from the left and from the right. So yeah. Otherwise, it's 1v1. You can also like you know, stay above here, and you can have a really good angle. Though I suspect that the city is going to check this angle at some point. But here you can maximize the waste of time of the city, and you can peek after for the bomb. Next map, Vertigo, not played anymore, but I still want to go through it. There we go. My God. What is above? Okay, I think this is the above area. So. Usually, I mean, on Vertigo, what we used to see is that CT plays a lot of retakes. For me, A side Vertigo reminds me a little bit of the A side on Anubis, where you just play retake 9 times out of 10. It's almost the same also on B side Ancient, but not as much as Vertigo. If you manage to plumb the bomb on A, which was like the default spot, would be here. Like this area, the idea remains the same. You can have multiple angles, but since now this spot is open, it's a little bit more difficult to play. So let me do like this. So for me, like playing this area would be good. Like you can pick to see if there's a city, and if they push you, you can be on those sandbags. Sandbags, yeah, sandbags. Be on those sandbags, and you can have a good angle there. Otherwise, another angle that is very OP for me is this one behind again the sandbags. But it's a spot that's usually mollied by the cities. They throw an incendiary here. So yeah, very conditional, but a lot of possibility to waste the time of the city, and you can have like good angles, a good timing pick whenever you feel like. Otherwise, if you manage to go towards city, ever since this area has been opened, then you can like pick from here, from the left. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very situational. But what was this called again? Short. Behind the sandbags, situational, short, good, and city, but a little bit risky because they rotate from the city side. But again, you can manage to catch a timing here. So yeah. On B sides, yeah, on B sides, planting like this usually. And 9 times out of 10 people would play stars because that's the best. It's the same idea of playing ramp. You just pick for the info, see if they defuse or not. Otherwise, in this area I find really very useful because you can pick from the left, you can pick from the right, and you have to, in this situation, you have to trust your aim. But if you win the round here, it's a big win because not only you will get the frags, but you will also get economic damage. Here though, you can win, but the city might choose to, at some point the city, if he realizes that it's impossible to defuse, he's gonna go back and just save the weapon, So you will get a win, but not as a big win as here. But the thing is, this is also risky because if you have higher chances to lose the round. So this is not a secure play. This is more likely a secure play to me, but this will allow you to have multiple angles to pick, and yeah, you might catch someone off guard. Otherwise, I mean, of course, I repeat myself, but if you plant here behind the side, but you choose to pick towards city, play aggressive to surprise the enemy, it's also possible, It's also possible. Again, it's very situational. There are some plays that are more safe. There are some plays that are more risky, and it's like a rock paper scissors thing, So yeah, one is not the absolute best, but yeah, it's just it gives you an idea of what those angles, what those spots offer you in terms of advantages and disadvantages compared to what you can also get, But in situations like this, I mean, it's usually good to trust your instincts, and you also learn by your own mistakes. So yeah, nobody can judge you, If you win the round, you win the round. It doesn't matter how you win the round. So yeah, Inferno, it's people might like. Some people choose to play city side, but for me it's really T sided because 9 times out of 10, if you play the Inferno correctly, you should be able to set the bomb, and the retake is so difficult that 9 times out of 10 you're supposed to win the round if you set the bomb. The condition here is to set the bomb every single round. All right, this is why I believe that even though some of the stats say that like Inferno is a T sided map. But it requires a lot of teamwork to play, and it's a very difficult map to understand, because you cannot play Inferno the same way you play those two, the same way you play Mirage. You cannot go for those solo picks, Trading is more important here, and like playing for the objective is more important here. Like all of the angles that the cities have to clear when they retake there are so many that usually it's very difficult for them to retake. So as long as you play the bomb, I mean, you increase your chances to win the round drastically. So here, let's start on A. So on A side Inferno, let me start this. On A side Inferno, usually the bomb is planted here, and the priority position to play here is it's the most obvious one, but it's also the one that gives you the most playroom. It's split here. You can pick from the left, you can pick from the right, and you can stay alive to buy time. So yeah, but it's also one of the most common spots, and they usually molly this area. So yeah. Otherwise, I mean, one of the other spots would be apps. Apps is really good, like because you can pick from balcony here. But they might expect you to do this, but you can also go all the way back and have a good flank towards the city. So it depends on how the city play this game. But otherwise, pit is one of the most wanted. Apps also is good. Graveyard is a surprising spot, but I think it's very good as long as you have another teammate here, like where you have a crossfire. So as long as the condition here would be that the cities come from long. And you have a good crossfire. Although, this is always on paper, but in a real game, nothing is like what's written on the paper. So they might come from short. It's gonna come down to the aim duels from a graveyard guy. If the graveyard player manages to win his trade, I mean, it's GG. You guys won the round. Otherwise, I mean, you want to take pit. You want to take apps. Sorry, you want to take pit. You want to take apps. So you can have a lot of maneuver here. Otherwise, I mean, if you want to play aggressive, of course, I keep repeating it, but I mean, it's up to you. But understand that if you play aggressive, you have a higher chance to meet the player, but also the time, like you get info from there. But the thing is, like, you might get a timing push from the cities, so you don't have any cover for that. But the advantage of that is that you get info. In case you succeed, you get info. You know that it's not from city, so you know how to play. You know how to play this round. Usually, CS is always based on info. Of course, aim and such, but of course, like in CS, information is king. So yeah. Otherwise, sometimes we see the bomb getting planted more towards here. So I think the way they do the reason why they do this is because it offers more survivability for the T players if they want to save here. You don't take a lot of risks. You don't give your weapons. You don't give the AKs to the cities because the cities having AK is just too broken. The one tap headshot potential plus the 30 bullets on the AK is just like too good. You don't want to give the AKs to the cities. If the cities have the AK, the taking on the duels is going to be more difficult, and the chances to win the round is going to be really, really more difficult for the Ts. Also, if the cities manage to get the win the trade thanks to the AK, they will not only have a numbers advantage, but also it's less utility, less trading potential. All of those things, those metrics will play in the favor of the cities there. So yeah. Otherwise, if you like to play a crazy CS, planting here, it will allow you to play around the library. And this, if you play around this, I mean, the city is gonna know that you're gonna be here, of course. But unless you commit and you pick, if you just swing and see if he's physical or not, you basically win the round. Like you count 1, 2, 3, and you just swing and you see if it plants or not. You win the round. I mean, getting to the site on Inferno is so difficult that once you set the C4, you don't want to give this round to the cities. Really not, because otherwise, I mean, if you lose a round, at some point economically you're bad. You have bad weapons, and from that, I mean, you have less chances to win the round. Less chances to open. Of course, even with the Tech 9s, you can win the round, but again, on paper, it's not supposed to happen. Why? I mean, some cities just decide to push for whatever reason. When you push as a city, you want to push for a reason. You want to push for an info. You want to push to get a pick, to get the numbers advantage. So yeah, let the picks be done by the OP players or by the guy that has insane aim. I don't know, or even by if you're double picking, let those guys do the picks. Otherwise, I mean, it's very situational. If you decide to push. It depends on the state of the round. Like if it's mid round or late round, if you want to get some info, it's called a risky play. But with a risky play, you can get info in return. So yeah, I'm speaking a lot here, so I'm gonna go towards the B side. Usually you plant here. All right. One of the most common spots to play is here. Pick from the left, pick from the right again, and if you are two guys here, you can even boost yourselves, but I don't see the point. Usually get mollied here and naded, and once you're spotted, I mean, you have to deliver. But this is one of the most interesting spots to play compared to this spot where you have only one angle to pick. Here it offers you two angles, and you can waste the time of the city. This spot is also good if you have another friend T playing along with you here, so you have a good crossfire here. And you can pick on the timing. You let the city waste all their time clearing the angles, and once they come towards here, you feel like you can pick. Then you pick together, and then they will have to chase. You just stay alive. You just don't pick. Unless the city is here, you just never pick. Or you hear them defuse, and at this point you can pick. But yeah, I mean. You guys have to communicate for this. Otherwise, I mean, one of the other spots to play is church. You plant here, you can go all the way back to church. You can have a good chances of survival, and you can pick from the city. But it gets a little bit too common. But one of the most underrated spots, in my opinion, to be honest, is this one, because if you let the cities clear all the angles, yeah, nobody's church, nobody's dark, nobody's triple. Of course, it's gonna be from banana, but again, they might expect you from the left, but you will pick from the right, So yeah, I mean, this spot for me is really good. But this spot comes in clutch when the cities are crossing this area, they're crossing pool. You can pick from the left here. If you pick from the right, it's gonna be difficult. But yeah, you can pick from the left and you can isolate them. Yeah, they will. But this spot is there. I don't see people using molly for this spot, you know, because you can also be here, right? I don't see people throwing molly, so I think this spot is really interesting to play. Although, like, it's not very popular. The popular one is this, or like church, but it's not really popular. So yeah, I mean, banana. I think it's really underrated in my opinion. Would I call it priority position? Not necessarily, but like definitely interesting position to play. If you're smoked, I mean, you can just, if you have another friend, then you can just push yourselves. But yeah, again, it's really risky. That's why that it's good that I remember this now. It's really interesting to keep 118.8 for the post plant situations. It's always interesting to keep at least 118.8 in case you're in a situation like this. Those are the situations where the cities have still one smoke left, you know. So yeah, that's it for Inferno. So moving on to those two, I don't know why the map is so little, but yeah, we're gonna deal with it. If you come from long, the common spot to plant would be here, or like even here. And the priority positions for me, in my opinion, would be to play this. You can have a good off angle, not necessarily off angle, but good perspective angle for the city here. Especially if the city decides to push from like this towards ramp, you have a good angle for you, and you can also have a good angle for the cities that are coming towards from short. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, this angle is really good, unless like you consider the fact that a city might push from long. But if you know there's no chance that a city comes from long, then you can play this ramp spot. Otherwise, another spot that I really enjoy to play, that I don't know if it's called a priority position, but it would be like to play you play goose here, because with this angle you will be able to see the shadows from the cities that are coming here, you know. So yeah, the only risk for that is that the city is not is not a new player, and he's gonna use that ledge to get an off angle onto you, to pick onto you. But the thing is, if the city uses that off angle, this spot, like he decides to ignore this spot here, you know, and this spot becomes more interesting to play. So yeah, that's the like give it or take it, you know, situation those players are putting themselves in. So yeah, otherwise, in a situation where in a situation where like you guys come from short. If you guys come from short, you have to play for short. All right. So you come from short, you play for short, you plant for short, and everything is going to be revolved around this area. The cities are going to wait for you to pick in case you pick for long. If you solo pick long and like take the duel, make sure to win it. But otherwise, I mean, you know that there's a city long. We don't have long yet, unless you have a like teammate lurking long. The best would be to play. The best angles to play is of course short, but otherwise you can play from this angle here, because you're gonna have like a good angle towards the cities. When they're gonna try to clear this area, you know. This spot will offer you some good views, not only for the cities pushing from the city spawn, but also from the cities that are coming from long, you know. So yeah, this angle is actually interesting to play. Otherwise, of course, like this angle, the ninja angle is not bad either. But if it gets mollied, it gets mollied, you know. But you're at risk of being seen by one of the long guys. So yeah, short, and this angle. If you manage to secure short and nobody's coming from short, it's really risky. But you can go all the way through city spawn, and you can play from boxes here after. But it's really risky. Otherwise, yeah, I mean. You plan for short, you play for short. Otherwise, if you want to take long, you have to double pick long, or you have to like coordinate yourself. It requires team play, it requires communication. But yeah, CS is a team-based game, right? Or otherwise, I mean, you have an insane aim. You're on your 8-day, like you aim like a demon, then you can just in 1v1 them. But it's a high risk play. It's a high risk play, and usually in CS, you want to minimize the risks that you take. You want to every time there's an action, you want to react to that. You know, you want to answer to that action. So yeah, on B side depends on, like usually it's planted here or here. One of the priority spots would be to play around this area, but the thing is that those spots are the priority positions to play. But the thing is that they usually get mollied. You know, those are the priority positions to get mollied, to force the T out. All right. Otherwise, one of my most preferred positions to play, one of the most underrated in my opinion, is to play behind the boxes here, because it allows you to have a good angle for the good headshot angle for window, but also good off angle for the guys that are coming out from door, you know. So yeah, I mean, this position for me, it's really underrated, the best for me. And yeah, you're at risk in case there's a city pushes tunnels, but that's at this point you just have to face the trade, you know. But if it's one versus two, and you know that both cities are coming from mid, this position allows you to isolate them very easily, you know, by using the boxes. So you, let's say the double pick door, you just pick one and you just play time. You know, you have a left and right. You can pick from the left or from the right. So yeah. Otherwise, you can play from this angle if the cities don't have molly. And but the thing is, yeah, this angle is gonna be like you have to hit your shot. You know, you have to get a clean frag here. Otherwise, if you get one frag, expect the trade to come immediately fast after. If you're crazy enough, of course, you can play around the smoke. You can push inside the smoke, like push through the doors. You know, all of those things. You can play above here, and you can force the trade in one versus one. And after, it gives you a lot of playroom there. If you want to play on the side or like behind the sides, you can, you know, you open possibilities here. Of course, it's good, but the condition is that you win your trade here middle, and you take a risk here. So yeah, it's again, it's based on your instincts. Ancient, such a green map. So on A side, default plant would be here, and usually you want to take donut. Priority position is donut. Again, left and right, you can just jump pick. You can waste this time of the cities. I mean, they will molly and so on, but otherwise, main is also a good spot. You can some players forget that, but you can jump pick to get the info. If you're low HP, it's a good idea to do that. You can jump pick to get the info. And otherwise, I mean, if you see they're not defusing, I mean, you know, it's good. But otherwise, you're forced to commit. You don't have as much playroom as in donut, you know, where you can pick left and right, but you can. Yeah, you can. You still have a playroom here where you can just jump pick and make waste the time of the city. Otherwise, donut is the best. Donut is the best. No debate, no discussion here. Donut is the best. If it's possible for you to take, if it's of course possible. If it's not possible, then temple. Why not? Why not temple? But again, it's I don't recommend it. But yeah, and you want to create crossfires. You know, like if you have one temple, one main. I mean, this area would be so good. Like temple main, you force the city to be in an uncomfortable position. For me, it's gonna be long. For me, it's gonna be long because again, same as donut, like left and right, and you can pick from the left. But the thing is, if you pick from short, you don't have the angle. Otherwise, cave is also good. Cave is also good. Like you can just wall it, and then like if wall off your bullet if you know the lineup. Otherwise, yeah, you're at risk if the city decides to push. But it forces to go out, you know. So usually when you take cave, you know that they're not coming from here. You know, like you have a good angle to get like to punish the cities that are coming from the city spawn. Like from here, you guys can have a good crossfire. You know, you can establish a good crossfire here. But otherwise, if it's possible, take long. But the thing is, yeah, they will expect you to pick. That's why it's interesting to have a flash. Yeah. If you can manage to waste the time, ramp is also good. Ramp is underrated, really good spot to play. So yeah, that's it for go to Anubis. On Anubis, if you plant on A, the default spot would be around here. If you plant on A, you want to play around heaven, you know. It's repetitive now because I keep repeating it the same things over and over again. You can pick from heaven, you can pick from the left. You open multiple possibilities, and you can just like waste the time of the cities and see if they're committed or not. You know, like the broken wall gives you a lot of cover. So you have also good good angle here. Like you're aiming from above. You know, you see their whole body, but they only see your head. And it's going to be difficult for them to aim. You can also play from main, but the thing is, like it's going to be real difficult. You know, from they know where you're coming from. This is like the same spot in dark in a B site on Inferno. They can molly you, they can smoke you, so it's going to be really difficult. You want to play towards heaven, you know, if it's possible. Like if you plant the bomb, you go towards heaven. You can clear heaven, and after that you have you make sure that nobody's rotating from heaven. And after that you have a good player. You know that they're coming from either camera or either from main, depending on how the round is played. So here on B side, if the default plan is here, for me, unpopular opinion, but for me it's gonna be temple. The same situation as in heaven. It's temple, but the thing is, the cities are rotating a lot from temple. So at some point, of course, you're gonna meet a city here, but if it's possible, yeah, go towards temple because this wall allows you to have some cover from a city coming the spawn here. And yeah, I mean, the bomb has not been planted for you, obviously. But the thing is, you can at some point you can just go out, you know, you can just pick while he's searching, while the city is like, for example, clearing this ninja area. You can have you have an interesting angle to pick here. B main has been covered, you know, having jail, and this area is also good, but you're exposed from connector. So I would say temple It's less likely, but connector, B main, those are the angles that you want. And yeah, establish crossfires as much as you can, of course. If you have the luxury to plant for city behind the wall here, I mean this area, obviously. So yeah, I keep repeating it, but you want to hold from angles, from a spot where you have you can pick from multiple different angles. You want to open possibilities, and you want to also like have a B plan in case they molly, smoky, you know. Like yeah, but if you want to play aggressive, of course, you can play aggressive. It's very situational. Cash, potentially the new map that's about to come to the next next updates. On A side, we used to plant here, you know. We used to plant here, and we used to play like quad here. This is basically the triple box in Inferno, you know. The idea is the same. It gets mollied, but you can also pick from the left, from the right. Otherwise, this angle is the same. Pick from the left, pick from the right. You can play main, and you have to make sure that while they're clearing, you can isolate them. Now, of course, I mean, you can at some point, if it's 1 versus 1, you have all the room in the world to outmaneuver your opponents. So yeah, if it's planted like this, I mean, main becomes much more interesting to play. You open more possibility here. The city has to take care of quad, of maybe forklift, or also like main, you know. But if you plant here, main is gonna be really less important for the city to clear. So yeah, the position, the place where you plant the bomb also is gonna be important in this round. On B sides, so for B sides, we used to plant here, right? If I remember correctly, so we used to plant here. I forgot how it was called, this area. Like sunroom is here, but I forgot how it was. Checkers, I think, yeah. In checkers, you can play like behind the boxes here, or you can play here. You know, you have multiple angles. But if it's planted in default, this most likely you will play this area. You can pick from the left, or you can pick from this angle. Heaven is really interesting to play. Again, the same station as in Heaven in Anubis. Yeah, I mean, you can play from city spawn, and the moment the city crosses from here, you have a really interesting angle that you can pick from. You know, if you plant here, I think you can find like there should be some molly lineups that you can throw from sunroom to here, right? So yeah, I think this spot is gonna be interesting at some point. Sunroom spot. Let's see after the update. Let's see checkers and like. At the end of, like this is called toxic, but at the end of checkers, they're close to vent. It will be really interesting. It depends on where the cities are rotating from as well, but yeah. If you found the information in this video useful, you can press on the thumbs up icon. If there's a specific topic that you want me to cover, you can write your idea in the comment section below. Also, if you want to support this channel, you can click on the subscribe button. Your support is truly valuable to me. Speaking about the join button, I added an additional status. I'm going to start to do the demo reviews again. I already uploaded 2 full demo reviews for everyone to watch, so you are familiar with my style. The links are in the description. Understand as well that if you have less than 1000 hours of playtime, you can improve by just playing this game and enjoying it. Also, there are already plenty of free contents out there that have a lot of valuable information to help the players to improve. Among those videos, I also have my own playlists. One where I share my knowledge, and another where I explain my thought process. In other words, what is going on with my mind during the round. There is also my live stream channel in case you want to join. And I have the chance to have an amazing community, so yeah, check it out. Again, to everyone who watched the whole video, thank you very much. I hope to see you in one of my next videos again. To my 2312 subscribers, thank you very much for being a supportive member of this channel. Your support and your positive feedback mean a lot to me. In the meantime, see you on the next.